you? Man, I am from New York. Large gay population in New York. Still homophobia, though, which blows me away. I was down in the subway the other day. I overheard this woman, apparently her husband got hit on by a gay guy, and this just blew her mind. She was hysterically laughing. She was like, oh my God. And you know David. David is super, super straight. And there is another term for super, super straight. It's gay. Can we all agree on that one? No. Nobody needs two supers before the word straight. To me, the sexuality spectrum is kind of like a game of Pac-Man. If you go too far to one side, you pop back up on the other side. And here's the thing too, guys, gay people, they're the wrong people to be bigoted against because they have what I like to call a very high karma factor. And by that, I mean, if you truly have hate in your hearts towards homosexuals, chances are you're probably going to have a gay kid. I feel like that's just how the universe works. That's how God even decides. He's like, this is going to be hilarious. And that's what he does. I will tell you this about myself. I actually don't drink alcohol, which is always kind of a weird thing to admit to a group of people. But people love when you quit drinking. They go crazy for that. Like if I got out here and I was like, hey man, sober 10 years, everyone's like, woo, rock on, you're the man. I get out here and I'm like, hey, I never drink. Everyone's like, pussy, I don't understand you. Why don't you drink and then quit so I can respect you? My mom was an alcoholic. That's always my little get out of jail free pass. And she tried hard too. She went through the 12 steps to stop drinking. Apparently not one of those steps is stop drinking. Did you guys know that? That was a good one. They should throw that one in there, maybe in the number 2 or 3 slot. Just to get the ball rolling a little bit. Grease those wheels. Because she was doing them all. She was making amends, and she was giving herself over to a higher power. And let me tell you, that stuff's easy to do when you got a couple of beers in you, for sure. That definitely takes the edge off a bit. But I don't drink. I actually don't do any drugs. For example, when I make brownies, I kind of just make brownies. I kind of just do what the box says. I might throw an extra egg in there if I'm feeling nutty. But and here's the thing too, guys, I love brownies. Like, I get excited about regular brownies the way most of my friends get excited about weed brownies. Like, I got invited to a party just a couple of weeks ago, and my buddy was like, yo, bro, tonight, Michael's bringing brownies. And me, I was like, what? Well, I didn't know it was gonna be like that kind of party. I have cookies. Should I bring my cookies? My other buddy jumped in. He's like, should I bring my one-hitter? And I was like, well, slightly off topic, but yeah, dude, it's a party. Like, I don't want to judge you. It's just we're trying to have a conversation about desserts over here, if you don't mind. It was a good party. It's interesting spending your whole life sober. Mostly, I just remember all of my mistakes vividly. Whenever I wake up next to a questionable stranger in my bed, I'm always like, yeah, I remember all that. Every step of the way. I wish I could blame this on the alcohol, but no, this one was all me. I've also never drunk dialed. That's a side effect of not drinking. But let me tell you guys, sober, lonely dialing, not better. Not better. You're just kind of there the whole time for that. Speaking of loneliness, a friend of mine recently got dumped, and I feel terrible for her. She's coming to me for emotional support, and I don't know what to say. She's still in the sobbing phase. She's like, oh my God, I miss him so much. I'm just like, what? What do you miss about him? She's like, I don't even know. It's just it. It's like little things, you know. Like we used to bake together. That was like a thing we did. And he'd always like help me out by getting the mixing bowl above the cabinet. That was like his job. And he was always really good around the apartment. He was always like changing light bulbs and stuff. And then like during Christmas time, he'd like get the decorations from the attic and we'd like decorate. And I don't know. I need a man. And I was like, it sounds like you need a ladder, to be honest.